Argentina may be the favourites for this game, but they've appeared in only one Rugby World Cup quarter-final. That was in 1999. They were flogged by the French, 47-26. Scotland, on the other hand, historically, well, they've been in all the Rugby World Cup quarter-finals. They've won only one of them. They beat Western Samoa 28-6 in 1991. And the Scottish coach, Frank Hadden, well, interesting little synergy about this particular game. Back in 2005 in November was Frank Hadden's first defeat as a Scottish coach, and it was against Argentina. Here he is.
Over the last couple of years, we've played against almost everybody in the world of rugby, and we're familiar with what to expect tonight. We've also practiced over the last couple of years different styles of playing, and we think at this stage we've got enough tools in our toolbox to make life very difficult for the Argentinians.
Well, that's not the first time Frank Hadden has used that analogy, so he is strongly hinting that there is something the Scots are going to show us tonight that we have not seen before at this Rugby World Cup. And as we've said, looking at the results of the previous quarter-finals, that could well be the case. Marcelo Lafreda, well, what discipline he's instilled into this Argentinian side. They're the only quarter-final team not to have received a yellow card yet at this Rugby World Cup. Here he is.
Hope to play well. That is the only way we are going to win, no? At the moment, we train a lot. This week, we need some rest because there was so hard the other games, and we need some rest. We are very good at the moment, and the players are confident to play well, and I hope they are going to play like this.
Well, that obviously wasn't Marcelo. The assistant coach conducted the interview. Maybe he didn't feel his English was strong enough, or maybe his running battle with officialdom at the Rugby World Cup has something to do with it. We're not too sure. But anyway, Rupert McCall, Ben Darwin and Ben Tune are about to bring you all the action from Stade de France.
Thank you, Woodsy. Back to where it all began. Stade de France, where Argentina beat the French on opening night. They return in this knockout quarter-final. The fourth and final match of that nature across the weekend. We've seen some wonderful rugby. Talk about tools in the toolbox. I've got two of the best sitting alongside me, Ben Darwin and Ben Tune. What do you make of this game?
Well, I think we're going to see a battle of wills more than anything else. It's one of the rare occasions we find two teams with very similar game plans. Who executes that game plan the best on the evening will end up winning. Both game plans are based around field position and then waiting for opportunities that the opposition give you from their own mistakes.
Well, first things first, I think it's fantastic that you've got a game in Paris that doesn't include the French. It's got 80,000 people here turning up. There can't be that many Scottish and Argentine supporters, so it's a lot of the French who are here to enjoy themselves.
A good clear night in Paris, as you can see. It hasn't rained this weekend, and it should pave the way for a wonderful game of rugby. We hope you saw Marcelo Lafreda speaking with the fans from Argentina. Joel Judge is the referee. Augustin Pichot, one of the most experienced Pumas, and Jason White for Scotland.
We kick? Yes. Okay. Can we decide which way in 20 minutes? When you want to come in, so the same. Thank you very much. Okay.
So a good game is wished upon the captains. Argentina wins that battle. And how much does it mean to the fans back home? Well, they have gone into overdrive on rugby back in Argentina. This big football match, El Superclásico, which is one of the biggest on their agenda between Boca Juniors and River Plate, has been rescheduled so that the country can watch this match, the quarterfinal.
Well, having been Argentina, I can tell you that is absolutely massive. That is the biggest day in sport of the year. It's like moving the Melbourne Cup by 3 hours so we can watch the Australian cricket team play.
I'm interested by this tactic by the losing team of the toss. Jason White on this example. Pichot wanted to kick off. Jason White wanted to wait until he gets out on the field to decide which way he wants to run. I wouldn't have thought 20 minutes is going to matter a hell of a lot in terms of what the conditions are doing by then. Probably a little bit of gamesmanship more than anything else.
You see Pichot running out. Does a great job of captain. Apparently, though, the World Cup commemorative coin's been causing some difficulties because both sides look almost identical, so they can't tell which side they've tossed to. But let's get to the game. The Scottish, they've got to perform out of their skins tonight.
Let's get to the game. Scotland beat Italy last week. Argentina defeated Ireland. Once again, it's a Southern Hemisphere, Northern Hemisphere clash. The hemispheres collide. The nerves in, the stomach, the stirring music, the battle about to begin.
If you were to say to either of these two sides before the tournament that either of them are going to play a semi-final of the World Cup, as one of them is, you'd have pretty long odds against it. So they're making history. They're both passionate sides. They're both desperate to make it to that standard. Scotland haven't been there since '91. Argentina have never been to a semi-final.
I think Argentina go into this game with better form under their belt. However, we've seen the other Northern Hemisphere teams, France and England, prove those odds wrong on big occasions.
And so the teams take the field, another big occasion. There is no doubt about that. The Argentinians tonight playing for their teammate, Martin Gaitan, nicknamed Blackie. In a match leading up to this tournament, he fainted in the dressing room with heart problems, but they are still playing for their mate. And that name is on the t-shirts they warm up in, Martin Gaitan. And victory on the minds of the Argentinians. Scotland the Brave, inspired by their anthem any minute now, Flower of Scotland, will be formidable as opponents.
The Argentines have this amazing opportunity. They've come this far. Can they go that much further and maybe all the way in this tournament? They've got a team that has the confidence in themselves to do it. They've been the dark horses of world rugby for a long time, and all of a sudden they seem to be proving their potential.
Stage is set. Well, nothing much more need be said about what it means to stand up and play for your country tonight. The Scottish team with an Australian flavour, Dan Parks at 10, Nathan Hines in the second row. Another Australian out there this evening, Stu Dickinson, running touch. Chris White on the other side, Joel Judge in the middle, and the Pumas.
Well, the Pumas just have to find a way to counter the boot of Dan Parks. They got some pretty handy feet themselves with Coletto and Hernandez. Field position, I'm sure, will be on the agenda of both teams.
Joel Judge would have stayed up last night to watch France defeat New Zealand in the second quarter final, I'm sure. And the streets of Paris have been alive with song. No, France aren't playing in this game, but they played last night and they're still singing. An early drop goal from Hernandez, the attempt. Shaves the right hand upright.
We've seen the importance of field goals in this World Cup, well, in World Cups in general, let's face it. Ooh, tell you what, that was pretty close and a handy shot from that far out.
So Juan Martin Hernandez from the Stade Francais club. An early field goal attempt just to the right, and Dan Parks gets an early kick on the ball as well. Hernandez, get used to that tactic. Coletto and Hernandez get chased, but Rory Lamont bounces back from that head knock last week against Italy. Does well for Scotland the Brave. He shot. He's played in 3 World Cups, been to 4. He was a member of the squad in '95. Didn't receive a cap.
Tell you what, if you're playing in the back three of any team coming up against Argentina, your entire week would be high ball receipts under duress.
Absolutely, and the Scottish back three, Ben Darwin, spent a good half an hour at the end of training, every training session doing exactly that, fielding bombs.
So the boy from Wagga Wagga makes an early impact in the line-out, Nathan Hines.
Spoke about how rolling ball was so pivotal to the Scottish game. They've lost their setup here.
Jim Hamilton fragmented from that rolling ball, but now Dan Parks. That's a good old Gary Owen. Webster applied the pressure, and now Argentina recompose. He shot juggles. The pass to Longo Ilia. The big right boot of Hernandez. The Scots play on. An indication that they might well run it tonight. Chris Patterson gave chase, but Juan Martin Hernandez up to the task. His shot flings it out to the right. Ignacio Coletto. The whistle is blown and Joel Judge has an early penalty for the Pumas.
I think he's picked the Scottish there for being offside. They seem to be very close to the kicker on that occasion. And how many midfield bombs? 6 have we seen so far in the first 3 minutes from either side?
Yeah, yes, it was Dan Parks. Off the mark a little bit, over anxious.
The boy from Dundas. And that from Hernandez defies belief in his own mind.
Well, that's a crucial mistake. I mean, that's schoolboy rugby stuff. You kick that ball out, you've got yourself a line out, your feed. Probably the first sign, really, this whole tournament we've seen Hernandez lose his composure a little. I'm sure it was